What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Zeus, and I'm back with another video. Yo, if this is your first time at the channel, just know I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Go ahead and hit subscribe. We're on our humble route to 2,000 subscribers. I greatly appreciate you guys. Guys, today's going to be a follow-up video to our previous video, where we spoke about Amazon's CEO, Andy Jassy, sending out a memo saying how, Amazon is going to be really investing in a lot of AI efforts and that a lot of Amazon's corporate employees should be taking Amazon pretty seriously. Now, today, we've got some new news where Jobs' bloodbath becomes a massacre as biggest company in the world announces massive layoffs. So let's go ahead and see what they're talking about. So Microsoft is planning to cut thousands of jobs as it ramps up investments in artificial intelligence. The cuts, which will hit sales roles in particular, are part of a broader effort to streamline the company's workforce, Bloomberg reported on Wednesday. The layoffs are expected to be announced early next month, following the end of the tech giant's fiscal year, the report said, citing people familiar with the matter. So I don't even know, what to say. Again, as I said in my last video, I'm extremely pro AI, but all these companies gearing up to lay off employees, that obviously rubs me the wrong way, right? Because in Microsoft's situation, right, they're expected to, announce, next month when their fiscal year ends, that a lot of people are going to be laid off. And as of May this year, they laid off about 6,000 workers already, who are mostly in product and engineering. And Microsoft has about 228,000 employees, but it looks like they're freeing up so many positions because they want to heavily invest in AI. Because even like it's just so crazy to me, right? Because Microsoft's spending about $80 billion a year this year alone on AI infrastructure, data centers, power tools in Microsoft 365, Azure, and Dynamics 365. And the CEO, Satya Nadella, he says that AI already writes 30% of code for some projects, right? And the CTO, Kevin Scott, predicts 95% of code will be written by AI by 2030. And what's really interesting is that Microsoft's Azure cloud revenue grew 22% last quarter, right? So AI is squeezing profit margins, dropping from 72 to 69%. So I guess Microsoft is looking at it like, firing all these people are a way to, cut costs. But Microsoft is not necessarily struggling, right? They beat earnings with 70 billion in revenue, but they're choosing AI over people. I don't know if this is even business anymore, man. This is honestly alarming, because literally the last video that I had for you guys, I literally spoke about Amazon CEO warning about this, and then Microsoft does this. And again, I'm pro AI, but I'm still cautious. I'm still wary, and I still think that we have to take this at a progressive level. But a lot of these companies are so quick, to rein in on the newest trend. Remember the metaverse? Remember NFTs? How come people don't talk about those? How come people don't talk about that anymore? But that was the biggest hype back in 2021, 2022. But nobody talks about it anymore, right? You got people's livelihoods on the live, man. And it's like, why should any of us care, right? Because Microsoft isn't just doing this on its own. This is part of the big tech stampede, right? Again, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, he said that AI will shrink a lot of the corporate roles. And even Google, right? They cut 12,000 jobs, Meta slashed 21,000 jobs. And tech layoffs hit about 63,000 in 2025 alone. AI has cut 63,000 jobs alone this year. And again, these companies are not broke. They're redirecting all their money to AI, believing it's the next gold rush, right? And Microsoft's 80 billion budget, AI budget, matches some countries' GDP. And guys, I keep telling you guys, right? Nobody has provided me a case study where if all these people, let me rephrase that, the rationale behind investing so heavily in AI, right? All these companies are laying off people, right? Amazon, Google, Meta, right? And these are all for-profit companies. Now, if all these companies are firing their workers, how then will the workers make some money in order to go shop with these other companies? Picture it like this, right? Google fires up like thousands of people, right? Okay, boom. Microsoft, Amazon, they all fire a whole bunch of employees. These three companies, all these three companies have employees that also have to buy products and services from all the other companies, these same three companies. So if I'm fired from Google, what incentive do I have to buy Microsoft Office, right? If I'm fired from Microsoft, what money will I be using to spend with Amazon? That is my only, I guess, gripe with all these companies, slashing their workforce in order to invest heavily on AI. I just don't understand it, right? And obviously, people are making the argument that AI is replacing human work, right? Microsoft, the layoffs are hitting sales, engineers, even their AI director, Gabriela de Querez or something like that, showing no one is safe. Again, I'm still pro AI, but it's like nobody's safe in the workforce, right? A lot of Twitter posts are, saying that, the recession is coming and then we have the war that's going on. There's so many different things, but AI will unleash the mother of all recessions. Globally, consumption could tank if laid off workers cut spending. And that's what I keep saying, right? But also, AI's environmental toll is huge, right? Some large language models can produce over 50 times more carbon dioxide than others, which can strain the grid, which is how a lot of us get power, right? And obviously, big tech, this whole AI hype promises efficiency, but risks mass unemployment and ecological damage, right? So, everybody's, shouting for, oh, it's progress. But this ignores real world pain. So we can't, just blindly cheer this on. Again, I'm going to keep saying this video and I'm going to keep saying it in all my videos. I'm pro AI, but I'd be a fool not to cut out, or I'd be a fool not to critique a lot of these things that are going on. Right. And, it's crazy, right? Because the stakes are extremely high right now. Your job could be next. My job could be next. AI is not just coding, right? Helping people code. It's drafting emails. It's analyzing sales data. It's even moderating content like, TikTok's 500 layoffs in Malaysia, right? And now the World Economic Forum predicted that AI would replace 85 million jobs by 2025, but create 97 million new jobs, like data science. But these new jobs often pay less or involve a lot of toxic tasks, right? Like reviewing hate speech for $2 an hour, right? So society right now, it faces a grave choice. Should we let AI widen inequality, or should we steer it in a way that empowers the workers? AI's potential is huge, but without regulation or retraining, it'll crush the middle class. And big tech's profit shouldn't be more important than human dignity, right? And I won't bore you with the things that I keep saying about, not panicking and things like that, or, learn new skills, or, demand transparency and advocate for policy, because I'm going to keep reiterating those types of things. You have to urge lawmakers you have to urge lawmakers to, honestly, we're at a point right now where a lot of this stuff is going to seem like it's out of our hands, right? I can keep on telling you to demand transparency, try to get as more and more skills as possible, but the way AI is moving, it's just moving so rapidly. But I am not pro all of these for-profit businesses to lay off employees this quickly. If it makes sense in the long run, okay, take the process, see who could be cut, who can be retained. But just doing this across the board, I don't think that's right. I don't think a lot of these companies are thinking about this correctly, right? And again, Microsoft's AI layoffs, they're a huge warning. Big tech is trying to race ahead, and a lot of us, we shouldn't be left behind. But let me know, what's your plan to stay ahead of AI? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this video hits home, if you found some value in it, hit that like button. Please subscribe. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. Share this video with someone else who might see some value in it. And hit that bell notification so you can get notified anytime I drop a new video, man. Thanks for tuning in, and never ever forget, it's you and I verse. Information, application, execution. Until next time, peace.